Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on DNA, genes, and alleles. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. It's the hereditary material in humans and almost all other organisms. Every cell in a person's body has the same DNA. Most of this genetic material is found within the cell's nuclei. Though the material presented here pertains to the nuclear DNA, you should know that there is a different type of DNA, also known as mitochondrial DNA, which is found in the mitochondria. Mitochondrial DNA is inherited in a different way and has a different structure than nuclear DNA. DNA presents itself as a double-stranded helix, which is formed by bases that are attached to each other by hydrogen bonds and held together by a sugar-phosphate backbone. The bases forming this double helix are known as adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine, A, G, C, and T, respectively. The adenine on one DNA strand always pairs with a thymine on the other strand, and the same is true for guanine and cytosine. The sequence of these bases is what dictates which proteins are made within our body, which genes are expressed, and what diseases we might develop, among other things. Human DNA consists of about 3 billion bases, and more than 99% of those bases are the same in all people. That 1% different is what makes us unique individuals. As was previously mentioned, DNA has 2 strands, made up of a sequence of 4 bases, also known as nucleotides. In order to fit this long molecule into an already microscopic structure, the DNA helix is wound around proteins called histones, which in turn organize themselves to form chromosomes. Essentially, chromosomes are made up of a supercoiled DNA. Chromosomes are thread-like structures made of histone proteins and a single molecule of DNA that carry the genomic information from cell to cell. Humans have 22 pairs of numbered chromosomes, autosomes, and 1 pair of sex chromosomes, XX or XY, for a total of 46 chromosomes. Each chromosome pair contains 2 chromosomes, one coming from each parent, which means that children inherit half of their chromosomes from their mother and half of them from their father. Chromosomes can be seen through a microscope when the nucleus dissolves during cell division. Genes and alleles are 2 terms widely discussed in basic genetics. Let's explore what they are. Genes are responsible for the development of the DNA structure and all the genetic traits that a human body has. It's known as the most basic and functional unit of heredity. Every human carries 2 copies of each gene. Each potential variation of a gene is known as an allele. We inherit these variations of genes from our parents. Mom gives us one, and Dad the other. Alleles are responsible for the variations and uniqueness of each individual. Genes are sections of DNA that contribute to certain traits, characteristics, or functions. Genes encode for proteins or parts of proteins that influence things like the immune system, skin pigmentation, hormone production, and eye color. Genes are transcribed into RNA molecules, which are then translated into proteins. Segments of DNA demarcated as genes consist of both coding and non-coding regions. Coding regions, also called exons, are the sections transcribed into eventual protein. Non-coding regions, or introns, are not transcribed, but are thought to fulfill numerous other functions, such as regulation of transcription. Humans have approximately 20,000 protein-coding genes, which represents less than 2% of the total genome. Genes are inherited from an offspring's parents, and they are responsible for features being passed down from one generation to the next. An organism's genotype consists of its entire set of genes. Every human has a unique genotype, which explains why the vast variety in human appearance and biology exists. Alleles are different forms of a gene. Just like there are different forms of transportation, like cars, motorcycles, bicycles, vans, trains, etc., there are different forms of each particular gene in our DNA. These different forms of genes come about by mutations and are passed down through generations. Because alleles are different forms of a particular gene, they are always found in the same location within a chromosome. To summarize, genes are portions of DNA that code for a trait, and alleles are variant forms of those genes. Genes determine genotype, while alleles determine phenotypes. An allele is a type of gene and can be dominant or recessive. Genes determine the traits of an individual, while alleles contribute to diversity or variations in observable characteristics. An example of a gene could be that which codes for eye color, and the different variations or alleles for that gene could be blue, brown, hazel, green, etc. Thanks for watching.